Hey, good morning, good morning. All right, everybody, welcome back to a new month. We got October here. October's finally started. Mid of the week as well. And we got the US government shutdown and price is not going anywhere. So it's kind of like, we just gotta investigate the market a bit. Gotta investigate the market here a bit. Because, we just got the new monthly candlestick that just opened up. Surprisingly, no volume. The daily candlestick is up 0.08%. I only had one set up this morning that couldn't execute on it because it happened so fast that I couldn't even take the trade. It was a sell that pushed from this area over here. Man, I was anticipating this move so much. I don't know if anybody caught it. Maybe you could have caught it if you executed a few seconds earlier. But it was this setup right here. Man, it was so nice. It was setting up so nice, like rejecting that 5-minute support area. We had like a few rejection wicks over here, and I was just waiting. Just so price can break this wick over here. But looking at it in hindsight, the only other way is maybe if I got in at the break of this wick over here by 38.62. But I was waiting for this wick because the difference was not that much. I was like, just wait an extra few pips. But yeah, actually in hindsight, that would have been the one right there. Because it's like we also got that inverted, that head and shoulders here as well. Oh, nice. You got it? Yeah, I figured someone must have gotten that one because that was setting up. Like, that was really nicely setting up. It was a point A. It was the most point A a point A could be. Because, it hesitated. It hesitated here for quite some time. Just thinking, should we move up? Should we move down? Got a nice little liquidity grab confluence up here as well by like 38.64. Yeah, could have caught it. Should have caught it. Actually, if I waited for the pullback, I could have probably still caught it. Stop losses would still be fine on that retracement. It'd still be okay. It would come back in and then go back down again, because the whole range there was like, the whole range was about 44 pips that got corrected. But it's kind of like a mixed bias kind of day, so there's no real direction. Like price is just going back and forth here. See the wicks, man. Like the high time frames look so nasty. Like 30-minute, you got a lot of wicks over here. 1 hour, you got a bunch of wicks. So got the 4 hour. You got 4 hour resistance, but we're still like next to the all-time highs though. So you push up like an extra 148 pips. It's accumulating right next to this resistance. I reckon we might start pushing up again, because monthly candles already created like a bottom wick. And we got the US government shutdown as a catalyst. Should be a pretty good catalyst here for price to move up. Gold is headed higher. There's a safer way to bet on the rally. The feel-good asset in times of economic duress. Real or imagined, gold is like Bitcoin for investors who are old enough to remember when cryptocurrencies didn't even exist. If the world order implodes and fiat currencies and stocks are damaged, fears that show few signs of abating, no matter how far-fetched, bars of gold will still exist. As will crypto. Let's see. Should the world get unusually kinetic? Damn, who wrote this article? Pretty good. It is comforting to know gold's melting point is 1,943 degrees Fahrenheit. Alright, awesome to know that. Gold will still be around when we're not. Nice. In the perpetual battlefield of markets and politics, demand for gold shows few signs of abating. Hey, we need this writer's name over here. Where's his name? Email editors@barons.com. This content was created by Barons, which is operated by Dow Jones and Co. Barron's is a publishing independently from Dow Jones, Newswires, and the Wall Street Journal. Yeah, gold is gonna be around for quite a long time. The January expiration covers the October and December meetings of the Federal Reserve interest rate. Actually, let's see what the Federal Reserve's here. What the Feds are saying. If the probabilities changed. So you got a new month here. Got 28 days till the next FOMC. Oh, this takes a while to load. Oh, nice. It went up 94.6%. It went up. Easing probabilities for US rate cuts, you know, they went up 94.6%. Why isn't gold moving? Is the question, you know. First trade of the month. Oh, nice. Yeah, exactly. That would have been the entry right there. This one would have been so hard to catch. Man, you had like crazy profit. Price going to profit so quick. One consolidation breakout, confluence, SMA 8, SMA. This would have been a nice reversal play too. SMA, let's see, fake out on the top. In my broker, I had 2 fake outs. Yeah, the brokers usually break the wicks first. I think it's done like on purpose like that. Risky sell at support with a lot of rejection. Head and shoulders pattern on 1 minute. Confluence was a buy fake out above SMA confluence. Also caught some sells over here. Nice. Yeah, pretty much we had some quite a volatile day yesterday. Yeah, yesterday was like on a different level. William Sanders. Hello, hello. We had a... Man, look at yesterday's price action. That was crazy. Man, I've never seen this before. I can't remember the last time I saw this. Pushed up 465 pips. Pushed down freaking 782 pips. And then pushed back up again 680 pips. Crazy. Man. It did a good amount of volume there yesterday. Did I catch the long yesterday? No. I wasn't on the chart yesterday, but I think the longs were like New York session. See your charts differently with table view. Come on, trading view. Where's this AI? We don't need more of this boring Excel spreadsheet looking like features here. We need like some awesome AI integration. You should even have AI for even like fun things like colors, you know, the colors of your charts. You can do like an auto, or you can write something and then it's like, make me a simplistic chart color scheme with this and that, and then it creates it for you. I don't know why, like TradingView is the only company which is not using AI so much. It's a big company too. Come on now. Give us like macro maps, interest rates. You can check like different countries, GDP and stuff like that, you know. Oh, you can even do it by the years. Didn't see this. Yeah, here we go. We're starting to pick up some pace, you know. We're just waiting for the wind to pick up. Waiting for the wind to pick up here. It's up 0.20% right now. 0.20 knots. You know, once we hit 0.40 knots, I think then we can look to do something. Gold looks like it's now moving. Oh yeah, it's it looks like it's trying to break out. Choppy. But it does seem like it's trying to break out. We need to get away from this general zone over here. It's the beginning of the month as well, you know, so I mean, we just gotta be a bit cautious. Because if it wants, it could have a consolidating day, but it's already hit the all-time highs today. We already pushed up again, 38.75. Might as well just keep pulling up. Man, it's crazy. Yesterday's candlestick did so much. So much, and it still managed to come back. Remember, it was all the way down here when we ended off stream. And it still managed to reflip and close bullish. See, that New York session is like a candlestick closure. You know, when a candle's about to close, it's gonna behave like that. A little bit more in line with the direction it really wants to go. Did Stream Autumn Sale have picked up any games yet? Oh, Steam. Yeah, Steam. No, I download my games. I get them off the pirate seas. So when Fit Girl cracks the code, then I'm gonna get it. The only game I pay for are the ones I play for, like, you know, multiplayer. I'm currently waiting on Battlefield 6. That one I'm gonna obviously pay for it. I'm trying to finish Silent Hill currently right now. Off to the pirate seas we go. I didn't know Vic was a pirate. Yeah, even Vic visits Fit Girl, repacks. She is the GOAT. I think she's like I know she lives in Russia. And it's pretty cool how they do that though. Like the technicals behind cracking games in this day and age, quite amazing. But there's some games you can't crack. Some games have this software on it, right? I think it's called D something. It starts with a D. I can't remember the name. But essentially, games with that, like, you know, Wukong has that thing in it where it's like you can't crack it. But the trade-off, when they put that software in the games, it creates performance issues. Now, also for the people who actually pay for the game. So that's kind of like the trade-off. You can't crack it, but at the same time, the people who pay for it kind of suffer a bit performance-wise. So, you know, I think like most games don't have it. They just choose not to put it on there. No, it's like a D. It's like some kind of a lock. They put not talking about a game, but it's like some kind of a lock they put on games. So people like Fit Girl can crack them and get them for free just a week after they come out. But that lock that they put on it, it affects the performance of the game. Yeah, so most companies just don't use that lock. Then we get them for free. Most people will buy the game though. There are more people who buy games than crack games. Like also Death Stranding. I think the new Death Stranding has that thing in it too. Because it still hasn't been cracked. Yeah, exactly. Someone said it here in the chat. De novo. That's the word. De novo. See, this is De novo is an anti-piracy software developed by De Novo Software Solutions, a company now owned by Irredetto. But nothing a quantum computer can get through. Once those quantum computers become commercialized, it's game over. Why not take a buy? Because we're only up like 0.27%. I'm still waiting for price to go up. Funny you mentioned Dying Light, man. That game's so freaky. Also, back in the days, having 50 plus originals standing on your desk would make you suspicious to the cops anyway. Yeah, I remember, like, man, back in the days, games were like nothing, you know, PS1, PS2. I would go to the game store and leave the game store with like 10, 15 games. And there were so many games back then, actually. It's not like you're watching trailers and anticipating this AAA games. Man, you'd walk in there and buy the most randomest games, but they're all pretty fun. Walk out with like 15 games. Man, but nowadays you're gonna walk out with one game. It's like $100. $100 a game. So it's like, man, if I'm gonna spend all this money on games, I'm gonna be spending thousands of dollars. I have a huge Switch collection, most of them sealed. I play them on emulator just to keep them for value. Oh, nice. All right, we're starting to pick up pace here. We just hit like 0.30. It's distributing from this area over here. It's currently in a small little distribution. I reckon price wants to move up. Gaming was the best when we never knew how technology worked. You guys see what they're doing with the new meta, with the new what is it called? The glasses, the Ray-Ban from. Is it Meta? Is it Meta or Apple? No, it's Meta. Yeah, yeah, it's Meta. The new Meta glasses. Man, you got these university students or whatever. Like they kind of like make them into facial recognition. So when they're walking on the street, they gotta walk up to people and facial recognition like automatically tells them the name and what they do, and they just walk up to random people and like, your name's Ellie, right? You wrote that book about da 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 da. It's kind of interesting. Man, it can really screw with you. Nothing that didn't exist before, but it's just a little more convenient. I think we'll retrace from here a bit, then we can get some structure maybe for buy. You would definitely need some kind of a retracement. I'll feel like really uncomfortable with even taking a buy after such a move like this. Dude, like 23 minutes into the new hourly. Now imagine the classified CIA technology. Yeah, it's on a different level. That's why, like they said, like stuff like Bluetooth already existed like 10, 20 years before it actually came out to the masses. So military technology, they're like decades ahead of what we have today. Like commercialized. Probably have like some weird brown noise gun. They're gonna shoot at you a frequency and you're gonna crap your pants. That's how advanced they are. Or maybe the military are the ones in the UFOs. You know, who knows? Who knows? Reverse engineer some shit. Put you light years ahead. Probably even light years ahead. If there was ever a UFO crashing and they reverse engineered that, they're definitely light years ahead. Yeah, no longs for me. I'm just gonna keep on waiting. First trade of the month. W. Back on the charts with a W. Third trade. Skyrocket. Break even. Got another buy over here. Let's go. Paragon. Fake out. Close below support. I don't know why you took this trade, but a pretty nice simple chart work over here. Just not sure why you took it. I think you're anticipating a fake out. Maybe on the 1 minute there was like some kind of structure. How much are we up? 0.27. We're not that far off the all-time highs. Just need to push like 77 more pips. Pretty big accumulation. Since market opened, we created a support here. And we have a resistance above here. It's kind of like a massive range that we're currently in. That is trying to break out from 223 pips. I have no bias today. I'm just vibing. We just need to break out of this sideways movement. Yes. Yeah, we got to break out. Can't believe the starting price of a AAA game is $80, yet it's not even complete. Yeah, I went to get the newest FIFA when my bro was here and I saw it was £70 for the standard edition. I laughed and said, nah, I'll wait till Christmas sale. Me and the wife have started the game Beyond Two Souls as a co-op story. It's pretty good. Oh, nice. Yeah, I played that. I did enjoy it, especially because it has that actor in it. Beyond Two Souls. You're gonna like it. It's an old game, right? But it's pretty fun. It has this actor who's become a he now. The actor from Juno. Oh yeah, this is pretty awesome. Wait till you get to that desert. When you get to the Native Americans in the desert. Oh yeah, and I finally finished Harry Potter as well. I remember you said your girlfriend finished it like 2 times. Finally finished it. Man, I bought that game. It took me months to finish it. Just because I don't really play that much, but I try and play whenever I can. Alright, 0.30. Take like a small little break here. Create like a small support. Now you got the 5-minute candlestick that's about to close. Yeah, I think this thing's gonna move up, chat. Like we got the US government lockdown officially, so I wonder why TradingView is not talking about this yet here on the top 3 news. The higher high closing together with the relative strength index pointing upward reaffirms strong bullish momentum is in play, Chai says. A break above psychological resistance at $4,000 an ounce would boost momentum and open the door for further gains towards like 4,200. Giving resistance is usually weak in the bullish setup. An upside breakout will probably occur in the coming seasons. It's heading for the all-time high. This is gonna be like a magnet. Hopefully conditions a bit differently up here, because before the conditions were like kind of like bearish up by the all-time highs. Like price would be going up there during the London session specifically and struggle and then come down. So we'll see. This looks a bit different though. The structure looks a little bit different, obviously, in the timing and everything. So we might just keep on running up. Wait, what's the lockdown about? I think it's they weren't able to. The Democrats and Republicans were not able to come up with like a spending for the next fiscal year. Come up to a consensus on a spending budget, something like that. So you know that means that there's gonna be a holdup of sorts. I don't know. I didn't read into it too much, but that's what it's mainly about. So I don't know when is the next time that they're going to have some meetings and, you know, discuss this further and see what the solution's gonna be. I don't know much about that. While I'm waiting, you know, it really doesn't matter to me as much as if price can move. Oh man, why is this line so long? Oh, it's a horizontal line. Yeah, it doesn't matter to me if the market's not moving, then I can't do anything about it, you know. It's like it's just extra information that I know, but it's like it's good to know it and then see the market move. So if you know that that's a potential for US dollar weakness, because obviously a government shutdown is not going to be a good thing. That's how I simplify in my head. You know, that's how I usually simplify like all these fundamentals. It's like, okay, US government shutdown, it's not a good thing, obviously. So gold should move up. And we should move up with volume. And if I come onto the chart and that's not happening, then, you know, there's like nothing I can do. But once it actually starts to pick up, then I'm just going to have that at the back of my head as a catalyst. Oh, finally, you know, 2 minutes ago. Oh, but it's like taken down already. Gold hits record as US government shutdown. You know, just as simple as that. Because, you know, like when you've been trading for like 5+, like I've been trading almost for like 6 years now. It gets tiring to know all the nitty-gritty about politics. You know, politics is quite a tiresome game. So for as a retail trader, my job is just to see where the volume is potentially heading, and that's it. But as like an analyst, some analysts will give you like very nice rundowns. They'll tell you, oh, you know, this could affect this and that could affect that. And that's a lot of speculation, correct? And you can't make money off speculation like that. Because, you know, the thing about speculation, it's like if you think it's going to go up for an event, you know, it's so much time in between macro events that there can always be like a change, you know. So I don't know, it becomes a little bit tricky unless it's something like interest rate cuts. Interest rate cuts are more like solid. Those give more like a longer term duration. Those are my favorite ones. Interest rate cuts, geopolitical tensions. Then we always have these smaller ones thrown into the mix every now and then, you know, like government shutdown and I don't know what else. Those are a bit harder to kind of, you know, gauge. Yeah, keep pulling that line. You'll find where it ends eventually. Man, it felt like pulling out something from a magician's hat. I was wondering, why the hell is this line not ending? You know, I thought it was one of these. One of these ones. Shotgun on 15-minute on buys now. Now it's taking a while to load. Come on, TradingView. Yeah, I got a shotgun on the 15. 15 minute just closed above resistance by 38.68. We're breaking the previous candlestick highs. Small little accumulation there. It could be breaking out of this zone. Yeah, it's starting to break out of the zone. But we're starting to see some direction here at least. See if we can keep pushing the all-time highs. Because that daily candle, it still has a lot of juice in it left. If you look at the daily, we're just kind of starting over here. Like I think as a daily target, we could be looking at something like 3,900. Maybe 3,900 could be the psychological mark for today's daily candlestick. Using the government lockdown as a catalyst to keep pushing price up, as well as the increased expectations of easing now. And the SME website. See 94.6, and let's see December. They got rates at December at 99%. So yeah, so that also increased there for December too. Wow, nice. It's distributing quite decently over here off this break. So I'm gonna wait for like some kind of a solid structure of sorts to be made to prove to me that it wants to continue moving up. 50% off now, going for the greedy TP. Oh, you're going for all-time highs. Yeah, at this point. Took it on the break of these previous highs over here too, up like 25. Going for 40. Hey, good morning, Kraken. Only trade I'm taking, I entered for a buy. Took a while back. Oh, nice. Yeah, I think buys are in order for today. It makes more sense, right? The sells yesterday were kind of confusing. I think it was like a mixture of monthly candle closing and profit taking and expectations of what was going to happen today with the government shutdown. And we also got the ADP numbers coming out later in the day. We got ADP, let's see, from 54 to 52K. So we're expecting bad numbers for the ADP, which is also bullish gold. Recently, it's been having bad numbers. We've had like a streak of bad numbers. Only had one good number here, July 30th. So we could also see this as some kind of a volume to come in with the US dollar weakness again, with the ADP. So I would say there's more things leaning towards like a bullish direction today than there is a bearish direction overall. Yesterday was a curveball. Yep. See, yesterday, if you're looking for sells from the pre-London into the whole of London, you could have had a profitable day, right? But once you start rolling around the New York session, you see how the session there changed? As I say, sometimes it's also like understanding your session, understanding how your session moves is really important. You see how like when we got the New York session here, look at how it just opened up and then price started changing direction. So maybe you come onto the chart and you're still thinking it's a sell because of what you're seeing back here. But you know, it's like at this point, it's just kind of moving up. That's a different session. So you see London, pre-London, sell, New York, buy. Pretty simplified way of thinking about markets during session times. We got Asia consolidate today. We're trying to see London continue pushing up bullish. It's trying to break out of this, off this extension right here. Hopefully this doesn't consolidate. Because we got the NFP. How many trades do you take in a day? I take like, you know, if I get 2 winning trades, I'm not going to take a 3rd trade. But I look for like 3 trades a day. $38.75. Can we get up here? 38. Oh, that could be nice. Okay. I see something here that could form for us to come up to the all-time highs. That'll be nice. Like from here to kick a buy to the all-time high, especially get like a volume kick once we break those wicks. We need this to set up. You need to accumulate orders here. We need to accumulate orders here so it has enough juice to move up. You made 0.3%? Yeah, if you made 0.3%, man, you just gotta... You know, that's still pretty decent. If you got like a winning trade today, you're part of the 10% of people who had a winning day today. You know, so you gotta enjoy it. It doesn't matter if you made 0.5%, 1%, 2%. You're part of the 10% of people who had a profitable day today. You know? BE for me, but happy to give it a go. Oh, it's breaking below support now. What's your win rate? It's pretty high. Maybe like 75%. It could be extending the consolidation to this support over here. It's gonna. I'm waiting to see where it's gonna start ranging, because that's where the orders are gonna build up, just like it did right there. You see how it distributed from this area and then it moved up. So this actually paid out. Like, it didn't have a very clean follow through, unfortunately. It would have been nicer to see actually that go to the all-time highs if that was the buy position right here. But yeah, it kind of pushed up. Like, how many pips is this? Say about like 19 pips, 18, and then started to struggle a bit. Pretty decent if you got a 16 pip stop loss. Oh, are you waiting for a retracement to enter? No, I'm just waiting on a bit more structure here. Get a bit more structure here, and that's all that I need. But a retracement would not be so good here because we're only up 0.30%. So a retracement would just kind of bring us down to being indecisive on daily direction, because yesterday was not very bullish either. So there's not much of a direction here, but I do think it can move up. See, I think the idea for pre-London was sells. We had that range, and now the idea for London is buys. So you again see how different the sessions work. This was all sells. So if you're trading pre-London, most likely your best trades would have been a sell. And if you're trading London open, your best trades would have been a buy. So I think with London we can continue to move up. Just form a little bit better looking structure here. This is challenge. I got 20 pip stops. I'm 0.6% up on the challenge and 2.4% up on personal. But the personal was an accident. I left the position open. Oh, that's a nice accident. And then just remembered and closed it. Yeah, imagine there's an account out there still has like a position running from when you started to learn how to trade. Now you didn't really know what you were doing, but you know you took a position and for whatever reason you maybe found another broker and forgot about that position and it's just still running. Gold longs from 2020. Nice little surprise there. It happens to people. There's a story about this Miss, I think I mentioned once on stream, Miss Watanabes. These are Japanese female traders who are kind of like increasing it a lot. And there's this one lady who I think her uncle died or something, and she was like in a long position, and she forgot about that position for a while, and then she remembered it later. And you know, because she had to go to the hospital, right? And she was already in so much profit, she decided to leave that position just running in his honor. This guy actually tends to happen to people. Now, no beginner trader will see green and close the chart. Problem is just holding it, right? Just to keep holding it, because most people are just gonna secure. As soon as they realize something like that, they're just gonna close the trade. But if you just kept holding it and you forgot about it, like especially for something like gold just keeps moving up. And I think like it's just gonna keep moving up. Look at how fast we move from like 2,500 here. This is a 2,500 in September 2024. Now we're all the way up, going to $4,000 a troy ounce. I would love the structure here to form a little bit better. If it could come down a bit more and, you know, just to like hang out here a bit longer, that would be nice. But it's so close to the all-time highs. I think this is just gonna like pop up. It looks like it could actually at the same time, it looks like it could barcode for us. Because, you know, we had this kind of long patterns, but we got to see how this 5 minutes about to close. Because if it closes like this, we could get the barcode. Now, barcode would not be a bad thing to see over here. Get a candlestick close down like this. And then start to like, oh, that would be nice. Then start to pop up above here like this. And then continue to move up bullish. Should I post my trade in Discord? Yes. Yeah, I should. You got to post your chart here. That's all-time highs. We just hit all-time highs on gold. For the first time in history, we have hit 38.76 on gold spot. Coming to you live at TetraFX.com. 38.76. It's honestly disgusting how price just is creating all-time highs every day. Oh, look. Oh, there's all-time high exuberance coming in. Sheesh, bro. Oh, man. Look at this. Pushed up here like 25 pips. That's why I was kind of hoping like we could get a setup right here. I was like, man, if we could get a setup right here, right below that all-time high, we could get some kind of effect like this. But, you know, it just decided to move up there. It was so close. I don't think it would have given us that structure, right? Man, price just moved up here. How many pips now? 34? Yeah, it's taken off without us. It's up now 0.50%. And it would have been a safer entry because like now we're a little bit high up, but you know, we can still keep moving. We just have to form some kind of a structure. But for sure, it's like if we got it down here, this would have been a lot more. I'll feel a lot more comfortable, obviously, because we haven't yet had the pop-up. But now we've had the pop-up. Doesn't mean we can't keep moving up. We can keep moving up. It's just slightly different. Trading at all-time highs is ass. Yeah, I mean, when you're buying high, you don't feel comfortable. But if we're trending like this and we have a small retracement, then you know, then a buy would also be okay. But if we don't have a retracement and then price just ranges here, obviously you're gonna feel the type of way. But there's still a better probability we keep moving up bullish. You know, because you're gonna trade what you see, not what you feel. So you know, if we're moving up, then we're gonna move up. Remember, drink more water, chat. London in 5 minutes. London's already opened. London's already opened an hour ago. You sure that ain't vodka? Ja, lublю vodku. Ja, lublю pizza vodku. I can't drink vodka without gagging, bro. Like, hate vodka. I hate vodka. Give me a good like wine bottle and you know, I can still have a good time with that. I post my morning trade. Trading too much. Oh, late. Yeah, there's a lot of trades here. Buy, buy, buy. Pretty W day. Is it micro gold futures 2-minute time frame? Is it on the 2-minute as well? This is over trading. Man, the only way you can ever fail is over trading and over risking. This is gonna burn you out. Very nice, you know, profitable day here. Trading too much though. This is the only way that you're gonna ever fail in trading is when you do stuff like this. Red wine or white wine? Oh, a good dry red wine. Where do you feel gold will be heading up today? Like $4,000 a troy ounce. I think that's a pretty good target. Oh wait, no shit, my bad. No, 4,000, maybe like 3,900. 3,900. Yeah, 4,000 is more of like for October. This is more for October over here. Looking at 3,900. That's like only about 480 pips from wick to wick, which is quite achievable on gold. Can the market keep going up? What the probability? I think it's pretty good probability. I mean, it's going up right now. There's no reason to think that it's going to go down. If you just look at everything surrounding the fundamentals behind gold, it's all pointing to the upside. Gold prices climbed to fresh record on Wednesday as investors turned to safe haven assets after the US government shut down for the first time in 7 years. In early trade, futures are up 0.5% at troy ounce after reaching 39.04 earlier in the session. The deadlock in Washington could delay key economic data, including the NFP report, which markets closely watch for policy signals. Let's see, we're kind of like cooking something here now. We're cooking it up for a skyrocket soon. Doing a small little break and retest on the previous ATH here by 38.75. 38.75. Just need to create a bit more structure over here, and you know, maybe we can take a buy. Again, chat, there's no reason you should be looking for a sell right now. I don't know why people like to do this habit of selling when price is moving like this. Like, you'd rather lose a trade like this than lose a trade trying to be, you know, trying to outsmart the market. I would need price to pull down first a little bit more. This is not yet what I really want to see. I'm just anticipating what the candlesticks are going to be doing. But still gotta wait. Because when you anticipate and then they do exactly what you think, then you know you're more ready for the trade. So it's not yet there, but yeah, hopefully it creates a bit more structure. It might just shoot up though. Let's see what happens. Look at the trades taken. I'm holding for a year now. Holding for a year. 0.01, 0. This was at 26.71. Nice. And we're here by 38.79. What a hold. Oh, I think it broke. Oh, it just broke. It's in so much momentum now. I don't know if it's going to give me structure to get in. Right now it's like in pure distribution mode, but it's not giving any setup. It's just kind of like buying and moving up. This is not an ideal situation because the more it does that, the more riskier the trades become. So if we could just do it here, would be perfect, and then move up. Oh, but that's a really nice hold. Imagine holding a trade like this that says 1 million pounds. Man, your broker's gonna be sweating. Like, damn, and this guy closes this trade, it's curtains. Gotta have to make up an excuse for why we shouldn't pay him. Man, I saw the craziest thing the other day. I saw a guy on MetaTrader making 7 million pounds. I was like, how do people freaking believe this shit? That is the most fakest fake MetaTrader screenshot that's ever been made. 7 million pounds trade. Yeah, TetraFX lessons, don't predict the market, react to it. Yeah, don't predict the market. It's a lot better at a... The market it has a way of moving that will shake you out of any position. So trying to predict it, trying to outsmart it, it's not a good idea. See, like, but right now it's so difficult to trade just because it's like it's moving up and it knows it's moving up, but it's not creating like any much of a structure here. Because the only way I see is like people getting to buys is maybe like a buy off this region down over here. It's like a small little closure above resistance and then kind of break the previous highs. That's kind of like the only setup that I see. It's currently in a distribution. And sometimes if you're on the lower time frame, you can cash the distribution. Right? You can catch the distribution as it's moving up like this. But the problem is, like, even on the 1 minute, it's just parabolic. It's just moving straight like this. So there's not much structure. The tricky thing is the more it moves up, the more the chances that it's going to want to come back to retest these previous profits or try and stop some trailing stops or something of the sort like that. So at this point, it's even much nicer if we can have a retracement first and then have price move up, because it's up like 0.70% now. It's quite a lot. It's moving quite aggressively too. You can see this. This was like the point A's that I thought we could catch. So we had a couple of bus stops here, right? Potential bus stops right here and then right here. That's how I kind of think about it before the moves actually distribute. They usually like stop for a while and then they distribute. They're going to stop for a while and then they're going to continue to distribute. Right? So in these two scenarios, we didn't get enough structure, but we got the beginning of some potential structure being formed. But you see, it's in so much momentum, it's just breaking the highs and moving up. Breaking the highs and moving up. It's nice. At least we're getting direction, right? At least we broke out of this consolidation. You see, it's also distributing. At the same time, it's distributing this consolidation, this much larger one over here. There's an entry here, potential entry, and then also this one right here, break of the highs. See, it's in the distribution. So that's why it's like quite important to understand that the markets are fractal, so you can see where it's coming from and what you're trying to achieve here on the lower time frames as well. Right? Because if you get the overall context of the market, I think that helps you as well with your trades on the lower time frames to see what direction we're going. And what kind of like a volume to expect as well, you know? So yeah, definitely breaking out here. See, the market loves to do that. Generate orders and then distribute them. Down for the day, trading at ATH is knife catching. The most scammed info I get from gurus are said only look at a higher time frame, don't look at lower time frame because too many noise. People only tell you stuff that they can't do. You know, that's what I realized. They're gonna tell you just based off of their... You can't really blame people for that. It's just based off their experience as well. It's also because they know that most people will overtrade on the lower time frame. Because you already have really bad patience on the higher time frame. Now imagine now on the lower time frame, when literally every minute there's a candlestick closing, and you know every few minutes there's a potential entry. It creates like very difficult scenario for someone learning to trade to develop like patience. And yeah, I get it from that perspective, but yeah, it doesn't make a difference. Like higher time frame, lower time frame, in the end, price action is price action, right? The lower time frame also just moves upwards, sideways, and downwards. They're just like some kind of scary scenarios. Like if you're doing shotgun plays, for example, you're gonna get so many shotgun play entries on the 1 minute. So it's like harder to filter. Then that becomes truly noise because it's harder to filter. Because some strategies we're gonna give you so many entries. So that's what you have to be careful of. Lower time frames are beautiful though, because you know trading's so competitive. It's so competitive. Like if you can't read the lower time frames, then sometimes you kind of miss out on a lot. Because there's people out here who have experience, years of experience, such as myself, reading the lower time frames. And you know, once you get good at reading lower time frames, you get better at catching these moves like from the inception of when they start. So it's like very competitive. Will you short gold at 4,000? No. I mean, 4,000 is a target for this month. It's still gonna take us so long to get to 4,000, you know? But I'm not looking to short gold. Like, just to like wait for price to get to 4,000 and then short it. Don't do that here.
We don't do that here.
Man, it's still in momentum. Holy, I thought we could at least get something here. Like a little bit more structure here. Look at this, it's still in momentum. It just broke the highs again and it's moved up like 21 pips. Damn, Goldie, chill. I hate when it does this though. Because then it's like the time it creates structure, it could be a time that it wants to reverse. You know, that's the annoying part. Because that's when most people can see something a bit more clearly. But so what I'm hoping is it's just going to retrace first. Because we're at like 70%. So we can afford some retracements. Retrace first and then create structure to continue to move up bullish. Giving us major FOMO. Yeah, it's giving so much FOMO now because like there's been 1, 2, 3 opportunities we could have gotten structure for buy, but it's not giving us. It just keep moving up. Check the flash news. Don't see anything here. All these will print tomorrow with government shutdown. Oh, we got some people here in Wall Street Bets looking to get some Nvidia stocks. Your balance. Wall Street says Alphabet could become world's most valuable company. That one. The one silly one. It's in an AI bubble. I don't think AI is a bubble. You know, I think AI is something that's just it's gonna be here to stay. AI is the beginning of the downfall of the human race. Like everything from this point, man, it's just gonna be built off of AI. Because why not? It's super efficient. Gets the job done. Can gold move to something like 39.60? Yeah, I can. 39.60. See when this distribution started here? It started just from the London Open. There was actually like some... Not the easiest way to catch this breakout here, but there was a potential breakout when price started breaking above these highs by 38.65. The problem with this breakout though was we didn't know the direction. You know, like when we came onto the charts, price was literally kind of like, we were not sure. We're just stuck inside some kind of a range. But if we were trending a bit more, we could have looked for even a buy from that region right there. But we're not trending. Even like if you look at yesterday's PA, price action from London came down like this, came down, and then we just had a retracement back up. But we didn't really have too much of like a direction yesterday too. And then today we consolidated, but there was a potential breakout right there, just structurally speaking. Well, we couldn't been sure about the direction yet. And distributed. And since that time, we've just been moving up. Up now, what, 0.80%. AI. Tetra, I have a small question. What's your opinion on trading on small investment capital like 50 to 100 bucks? I think it's pretty nice. 50 to 100 bucks. Like, that's just you trying to learn how to trade. That's you trying to learn the skill of trading, right? You wouldn't open a business with 50 to 100 dollars, would you? It's not realistic, is it? You know, so why do you think trading is any different? But that 50 to 100 bucks is going to teach you how to trade. You know, so there's already so much value in that than just the amount that you're trading. So that's how I treat the 50 to 100 bucks. Like, you're going to prove to yourself you can survive in the market. You know, you first have to prove yourself that you can survive. And that's what you're going to do with that 50 to 100 bucks. And then the better you get, the more you're going to slowly start growing that account. And if you can do it on a small account, you can do it on a big account. Like, there's literally no difference. Yeah, like, yeah, exactly. You know, things take time. I don't like people don't like to give things time. You know, when you're born, it takes time for you to get out of the womb, right? When you're out of the womb, it takes time for you to learn how to walk. You know, when you're at a company, it takes time for you to get a promotion. Man, it takes years for you to get a small promotion when you're a company. You know, like, things take time. You just have to be okay with being patient like that. Being fully honest, I would invest those 100. Oh no, you can say the full word. I removed the block on that word. Those $100 into, yeah, exactly. You know, you just gotta invest in your education. You know, that's the smartest thing you can do, because you gotta see, like, how can you make the wisest and smartest choices with your money, right? You got choice A. Choice A, try and flip that 50 or 100 bucks in the market, right? We all know where this is going. You're most likely gonna donate that money, and you might not get as much value for that money, right? Especially if you're full porting it and you're over risking, and you know, you might not always get much value. Maybe if you're trading a 0.01 lot size and that's your capital to learn from the market, awesome. You know, you're gonna last a lot longer. You know, you're gonna last quarters potentially, you know, with good risk management and taking just, you know, maybe 1 or 2 trades a day. You're gonna last a long time and you're gonna learn a lot. You know, you could take that and then invest, or you could take that and invest in your education. So those are the only 2 options that I see for a new trader. Like, literally, that's all that you can do, because you can't flip it. You're not gonna flip it. You know, if you flip it, you're gonna get lucky. You know, sometimes you get lucky and you flip it, but what happens is, given again the right amount of time, you're gonna just donate it back. You see, so you cannot escape this. You can escape it in the short term, but you're not gonna escape it in the long term. Yeah, it's funny. It's like how Warren Buffett says, if you put a cop car in anybody, eventually they're gonna get a ticket. You know, you're not gonna drive perfectly your whole life. Eventually you're gonna get a ticket. So that would be equivalent to your ticket. You trying to get away with like $100, maybe you flip it to 500, 1,000. Eventually you're gonna get that ticket. And you know, when you do get the ticket, it's gonna be one that you're gonna give back everything. For us traders, like if you're already a consistently profitable trader, you get a ticket every now and then, right? But at least it's not so bad. You kind of like manage your risk because you can't always win in the market as well. Like the losses always around the corner. I always say, like, you can only judge a good trader by how they lose, not by how they win. Just close what a runner. What is the best lot size for $1,000 account for gold? I would counter argue, what's the difference between $100 and 100K if you have a proven system? Yeah, it's good if you have a proven system. But people with proven systems already have the mental model not to ask such questions. You can tell a lot about a person and where they are in their journey just by the questions that they're asking. You know, so 100% this is not a person with a proven system. Imagine me asking somebody, what lot size should I use? Or or you know, there's certain questions, man. There's certain questions people ask and you're like, yo, this guy is here. I still hold that trade from 70. Don't know yet if I should close it. From what, 70? Man, that's amazing. That's so many pips here already. You should secure it. Trying to see how many pips this is. This is like 250. You should secure it. You're not gonna get 250 just like on any day like this. Yeah, people love to ask questions they kind of know the answers to too. Or like questions you can just quickly Google those questions. Yeah, it's so hard not to get greedy at those heights. Feels like it can keep going forever, but you know, we're up now 0.90%. This is usually a time that the market is, we can expect some kind of a retracements here. We're approaching 1% on the daily. You know what I hate is the most annoying thing is not people who even just asking questions they already know the answers to, but people who, when they start something, they don't even try and immediately start asking you questions. You know, that's just showing to me that you don't really want to learn. It's like, I don't know how to explain it. Like it's good to explore something. When you're learning a skill for the first time, it's good to do some background research on it. You know, it's just like if you're applying for a job, right? You're not going to go to an interview without knowing anything about the company, anything about what they do. It's good to, like, you know, come a little bit more prepared so you don't, you know, people don't like their times to be wasted. I don't like my time to be wasted. You know, so like when you waste people's time, when you ask them like very basic questions, it's tiresome. It's really tiresome. But man, if you show up and you're well prepared, man, that's, you know, you start to form a relationship like on a much better foot with people when you show up a little bit more prepared. Can you share your thoughts on GJ? In a buy and in 300-pound loss. Oh, you gotta send a chart, man, because I don't know like where your entry is, where your stop loss is, why you took that trade. You have to send a chart in. Oh, Lee, look at this. So many buys here. Man, awesome. This is... It's like this video. I said this video of this guy. He kind of like pushes his thumb with a machine. And the machine's like hitting his thumb like this, right? And it's just like keying in the orders. All right, so let's see. We're up 0.90%, 91% right now. It is quite high up. We're definitely getting high up. It would be nicer to get a retracement at this point. Yeah, that's why I'm going to wait. This thing pushed up way too much. It's literally right next to 1% on the daily. And we have this whole move over here. If we can first correct this move and then move up, I think that's going to be a good idea. Like some of that move. It might start doing it now and get that push here. Well, no shock in the water though. Doesn't seem that there hasn't been a shock in the water this whole time. This thing has just been distributing. I think the only one that was kind of shocky was this one here because, I mean, it did push. It did push from this region, but then it quickly came to sweep these lows before it started to move up again. That'll be the only thing I would say. But besides from that, like the market does look quite... It doesn't seem to be targeting. You know, like... Situation would be a nice buy over here, maybe like somewhere around here, and then stop loss below here if you can get candles to, you know, print a bit more structure. But I feel like this is about to have some retracement soon, or unless we can respect this zone for a bit longer, that if price can take a smaller break over here, a medium-sized break, you know, over here before we continue to move up bullish. But something like this right now, that could be a bit aggressive to just get onto some buys like this, even if the structure looks good. Because we might just get... What we're trying to avoid is that whip. Because usually the longer price distributes, the whips are going to eventually start to come in. And then it goes back to normal again. Check the beds on TradingView, Vic. Wait, London session is going pretty good nowadays. See, gold hits fresh record. Gold climbed to $38.90 per ounce Wednesday, setting a fresh record high as the US government shutdown boosted demand for safe haven asset. Traders are closely monitoring its duration with the shutdown already delaying key economic data. Yes, sir. This is it, man. This is the catalyst for the day. Markets are now pricing in a near certain rate reduction that also increased. this month, and about 76% chance of another cut in December. Why 76%? You know, like sometimes, I don't know who writes these things, but why 76? You know, if you go to the CME group here, it's at 90% in December, 98.9%. It's funny, you catch them like every now and then, you catch these TradingView or these articles being a little bit off. 76% chance of another cut in December. Because this is what we all use. This is the main website for the interest rate reduction. 76. But when you're going through these headlines over here, the main thing is just to see what the current topic is. You know, you're just gonna highlight the keywords like U.S. government shutdown, or if they're talking about interest rates, or you know, what's the key keyword that keeps popping up, and that's gonna be kind of like your catalyst for the day. That's your standard TikTok stream, that? Man, we were streaming on TikTok. We had such a nice audience. We were like peaking, you know, 300, 400 viewers as well on TikTok, but they don't allow trading live streams. I don't know how those other people get away with it. I feel like people genuinely wanted to learn how to trade on TikTok. There's a pretty nice community there. It's all censorship. See, that's a retracement. Now the retracement's coming in. Usually just as we're heading towards that 1% mark on the daily after such a parabolic move, you can expect some pullbacks. That's why I didn't want to take any buys above here. I'd rather wait for price to come down and then try to get it back up. Where's the next entry? And some of these... Let's see what oil is doing. 4 hour consolidating. Man, oil is not moving at all. We're starting like $62 a barrel. Sheesh. Oil market here is looking garbage. You got resistance, you got support, but breaks above, you know, 76, 75, $65 a barrel here, and we can see the price of oil going up towards like 69.70. Yeah, but oil is crashing out. You keep tabs of like OPEC. Stocks retreat. Gold hits record as U.S. government shutdown as well on oil. Fundamentals here. Let's see what else. Oil ticks higher with OPEC Plus and the U.S. shutdown in focus. How much is it ticked higher? 0.30%. Stocks retreat. Gold hits record. Yeah, U.S. government shutdown is the main thing. That's actually like, you know, a lot of the time people wonder how to hold trades longer. If you're good at anticipating in line with, like, you know, whenever you got fundamentals like US government shutdown, that should give you an idea of how much volume and how much direction you can actually expect from the market. So you can add that into your, like, your arsenal of what's a good trade to hold, you know, when is a good time to hold. So it's usually when we have these events that creating this volume. Remember, it's fundamentals first that move the markets, and then we can talk about technicals. I'm up 226 pips on gold. I'm holding to 39.30, about 1.8%. But I'll be right back, chat. I think this thing could cook something up here soon. Gold surely going to 4,000. Yeah, 4,000 for sure, for sure. By this quarter, we should see 4K. Don't know why Powell is... He really doesn't want to cut rates, but I feel like he's going to be forced to cut the rates. At least give us one more rate cut. I think all we need is one more. We can do it. We can do 4K with one more cut. Yeah, thank you, doctor. No, it's not actually my birthday. NFP thoughts, more likely bullish or bearish? It's kind of uncertain even if we're gonna get the NFP numbers right now. Since everything that's happening, we might not even get NFP this week. Yeah, this is an area that it's trying to do something here. It would have been nicer to get a bit more of a retracement. Let's see on the 5-minute. 5-minute create like a support. Looks like liquidity grab there on the 5-2. Just takes out like these previous highs, pulled back down like this, fighting with the 8 SMA right now. Still kind of battling with that 8 SMA. It's kind of tricky. I'll still be... very patient, because if we're gonna take a buy, the entries could come literally at any point. It could be at the break of this wick, or it could be at the break of these highs, or even these highs, depending on how the structure starts to form. Because you know, you're already trying to visualize as much as possible how each kind of setup can look. But I think maybe we might have this one as a first go over here. If we can shoot here and then come back down like this, and then show us again that he wants to move up by breaking some wicks. It would have been nice to get a bit of a deeper retracement than this too, but you know, maybe this is what we have to work with. Let's see what's going on here on the 30. 30 still skyrocketing up. Daily just underneath 1%. 15-minute just like looks like it almost wanted to take out the previous lows, but it didn't. 5-minute looks like it's about to break into a sideways movement. Current 5-minute also doesn't have a bottom wick. Yeah, let me see if we can play around here for a bit, and then I'm gonna personally look for a maybe like a buy above here. But I would love to see a little bit more structure. We need to come down. I want to see a heavy candles come down first. Over here. I don't want it to do this and then do this. It's not going to look good. I wanted to do this, create that resistance, come down, retest that area, and then move up. Then I'm going to look at that and say, okay, you know, maybe we're going to be more creating a more solid accumulation towards a breakout. Bitcoin has taken off too. Any base currency against the dollar should be moving up. Is it true forex will end next year? Man, these are rumors that I hear every now and then that forex is about to end. No, that's not the case. It can't end. You know, as long as you're using paper money, forex is never gonna end. You know, something like that is gonna take a really long time for forex to end. Definitely not in our lifetime, I think. Because, you know, like, money's still quite practical for people to use money. Not everybody has access to internet and digital services. So, you know, when you think about the world economy, you must also think of the people who are not so technologically privy. Like, the world is pretty big, you know, like more of the world exists outside of the internet than it does on the internet. You know, so like money is just the most practical way of doing things as of now. That's pretty cool what Starlink is doing. You know, at least Starlink is giving access to basically everybody anywhere. So it's like we're taking the right steps in the right direction. But that's why I said I don't think it's going to be in our lifetime that we stop using like furlough currency. Completely. Imagine becoming profitable after 5 years and forex ends. Yeah, that's always been like a nightmare. The moment you become profitable at something and then the world ends. Or the moment GTA 6 comes out and as you're having 97% installed, you're installing GTA, you look out the window and you see like a mushroom cloud. All right, so chat, I'm thinking like, does this look good enough? Can we take a buy over here? A further pullback would be nicer. I know we're up like what 0.87 right now. You could get away with a buy. A little bit more of a pullback would definitely be nicer though. What do you all think? Rate this setup here on a scale of 1 to 10 in the chat. Maybe put the auto on. Guys, rate the setup. Scale of 1 to 10. See 4, 5, 2. Wait for pullback more. 8.5, 8.5, 6. I swear, like trading's like playing golf, man. Sometimes you gotta zoom out and you gotta look at it from like, you know, a certain angle. You look at a certain angle, see, you know, does it make sense to hit the ball like this, or what can we do? We're kind of in the grass right now. Kind of in the grass, so you know we gotta like adjust a bit more. Yeah, I think we need a different stick for this one. I think we need a different stick, so we gotta wait for candle to pull down a bit more. Yeah, this is definitely a grass shot right here. Because, you know, like, we got to get through... There's so much, like, foliage that we have to get through over here. See on the left-hand side? So we got to be sure that we're getting this, like, a proper hit over here. So we got to, like, get a good swing down and then swing back up. That's what I'm going to do. And if price continues to go, you know, so be it. So be it. I'm going to just accept that I've already missed the move. You know, if you can't accept you've already missed the move, then you know, at this point, you're letting your emotions control you. Yeah, I could definitely pull down a bit more. I feel like it hasn't properly tested these lows yet. It's to properly test the idea for sellers to see if there's any strong selling pressure down here first, and if there isn't, then we can continue to move up bullish. 15-minute doji. Yeah, I got some oh yeah. This is already a sign that I should wait even more for a solid structure. Because we're getting some doji candles over here. This signals indecision, which is kind of good because indecision means consolidation and accumulation. But at the same time, it's like, you know, we got indecision and we have potential exhaustion in the market. It'll be nice if we could retest like 38.88. Hey Christina, thank you for the membership. Welcome to the best London session stream, the TFX tribe. See, 38.70 was the best entry for ATH run. No, there's no such thing as a best entry, you know. You're either gonna make money or you're gonna lose money. That's it. That's the end goal. Five pairs enough to focus? Yeah, I think like 5 pairs is gonna create you a lot of stress in your life, you know. If you're just like planning on becoming a profitable retail trader, if you just want to make money in the market and you know you're not trying to do something crazy, then I think like 1 or 2 pairs is enough. Like, man, this year I've only traded gold this whole year. And you know, if I talk to somebody even outside of my personal life and I just tell them I'm just mainly trading gold, you know, it makes sense. It makes sense. Everybody knows the price of gold is going up. Everyday price of gold is going up. You know, so my focus here is mainly on gold. And the good thing about gold is it's always having volume, you know. It's not like something like GJ. It's like a huge hit and miss. But you see, gold is always having volume in it. So, you know, if you specialize in something and you get really good at that one thing, you know, that could also be enough for you. But if you spread yourself out too thin, sometimes you're going to have a lot of analysis paralysis and you're going to be doing a lot more work. But you know, it's up to you. People who trade the higher time frames like 4 hour, daily, etc., they have like a bigger watch list because obviously, you know, you can't just watch one pair. That's going to take you days for a setup. You might have to diversify a bit more. But if you're a scalper, honestly, gold is enough. Master how to trade gold. I want this thing to pull down. I don't want us having such a hard time to get through this little mini support area over here. Because I really don't want it to bounce off this level, because there's an entry that could be coming in somewhere around here, like slightly earlier entry that could be distributing from this area, this general region here. But it's not clear, you know. We got a lot of foliage, as we said, like we're in the grass right now, so we need price to give us something a bit more of a cleaner shot there. Master one strike, then spam it to success. Yes. Yeah, it's like a glitch, you know. You gotta find that one thing that works and just keep doing that until it stops working. Because, you know, why would you stop doing something that's working? They say if it's not broken, don't fix it. Is Bitcoin skyrocketing today? It's up 1.72%. Yeah, it's the same thing. Government shutdown. US government shutdown, crypto to go up. I got a feeling like gold wants to... It's going to move from here. It seems like it's not going to give me my retracement down to like 38.88. And the thing is, I see it can break here, but as I mentioned, there's a few key areas you have to be cautious about on the left-hand side over there. But it could, I would not be surprised to see it distribute from this region here. I'm not going to take it because it's not super clear to me. Oh man, but I think it will. Also on the 5-minute, you're getting a small little bust up here again. Like you're getting more candles than what we did have previously over here. That's how gold usually moves. If you look at the higher time frames as well, even on anything, cryptocurrency, whatever, you're going to have these extensions and then a little bit of a break and then a continuation. So this thing could just pop up and just keep moving up bullish. But this is the point A. we're currently at a point A right now before it starts creating new all-time highs. Now the question is like, how can we catch this in a very clear and clean way? It's looking good. It's starting to form this mini one right here, but I would rather take it off this bigger one. If it could just come down and then fake out, you know, if it could come down and give me a little bit more of a confluence as well. But there's so much bullish momentum that I would not be surprised to see just keep pushing. But if it came down and then give me a confluence here, this would be perfect, because that would be a liquidity grab below here, because there will be sellers coming in, and then we can fake them out. And if you look on the 5 minute, that's going to be a 5 minute bottom wick that would have been formed below here. So that's going to even look more like a sort of liquidity grab of sorts. You know, so at least the confluences are going to start building up nicely. So I'm going to have to be okay with just watching this thing go if it goes. Just going to monitor here as it breaks above like 38.93. I mean, it fakes out the buyers. That's also going to be a nice thing to see. Like breaks above here and then fakes them out. Ate too much money. New hourly drops low. Oh, hourly. Oh, nice. Yeah, we got hourly open as well. Thanks for that. We got hourly open. So, you know, it's like it's breaking. With the hourly open, it's a bit of a hit and miss. You know, hourly can give you a nice push before new hourly opens. But you have to consider that with a new hourly, we have to create hourly lows, or we'd be anticipating hourly lows to be formed before we create new hourly highs again. So for a setup like this, it could experience a bit more drawdown. So you know how we've been talking about zero drawdown entries? Like something like this, I could expect some kind of a drawdown from that trade. Hey Vic, how's the gym going? Pretty good, pretty good. Trying to do it like 2 times a week at least. Yeah, it's quite consistent. I don't know how much muscle you can really build in 2 times a week though. I think the most ideal would be 3 times a week. You could probably still pretty good muscle with 2 times a week, but just gonna take a bit longer. Yeah, whenever I have like a hobby like this, I always like see what's the best way to do such a thing. You know, and I think the most optimum would be like 3 times a week. Maybe around 13, 14 sets. 14 sets a week. Because, you know, if you do 2 times a week and you're doing 4 sets for 1 hour workout, doing 6 exercises, you know, that's quite a lot. 4 sets, 6 exercises. If you're only doing it twice a week, it's not really hitting the optimal 13 sets that you could do in a week. 13, 14. So that's why I think 3 times is like the most optimal for like proper muscle growth. But I think you can get away with, like, people definitely get away with like 2 times a week, and people have their own like kind of like ways of working out. Full body workouts maybe in once a week, but they go really hard. But I think that's the most optimal for, generally speaking. Getting bearish? Yeah, getting bearish. I don't think a buy here is gonna be a wise idea. As we mentioned, there's too much going on here. There's a lot of like wicks. And we just got the new hourly open. So it's creating the hourly low right now. Fuck it, I'm picking up my dumbbells right now. Yeah, it's like, you know, there's a potential. There's a potential here for an explosive move and continuation. But you see, we can't control the candlesticks. We just have to let them print. And if you let the trades come to you, those are usually the best trades. Where's the whip sound? Here, it's got some whips incoming. Potential whips incoming. To the 5 minutes. It's trying to push up. It's like lifting a heavy weight, right? It's like a bench press here. It's on that rep that gives you the growth. This is at the last 1 to 2 reps over here. Coach is kind of psyching gold up. Let's do it. One more. Give me one more. Give me one more. You see it's struggling a little bit on the buys. There's a buy setup. There's a chance for explosive movement here, but it's struggling a little bit. And that's why I need the setup to be clear. I need to see a lot more market participants being confident about the trade. Because, you know, it's not just you. Whenever you have these moves, there's a reason why price always moves the way it does, right? It's not just you who's seeing it, but there's a lot more people getting involved in it, and it becomes like a very obvious move. You know, if it's not obvious, then it's not a good trade. It's just kind of like the one I spoke about this morning, that, you know, Ricardo was able to catch this trade here, but me coming in later, I couldn't catch this move because there's a lot more people who are seeing that happen. And by the time I wanted to execute, like, it felt like all the orders were already taken up, so it moved too quickly. It moved too quickly for me to do anything. So it's like, because, you know, price was struggling here. Price was struggling so much over here. As you can just see in the 5-minute time frame, you know, it broke below support, and then it was resisting the support area. And then it gave us like even a small little liquidity grab confluence up above here, and with a clean range down towards this next support. So it's like so obvious that everybody's looking at that. And then that's kind of what makes a good trade also, at least in my opinion, a good trade. So you see, we're not having a situation like that here, like we did previously. Instead, we're getting a situation where it's just moving with momentum. And I don't want to just trade it based off of just purely momentum. Because if I take a buy here, this is like a buy just kind of purely based off of momentum. Because structurally speaking, I don't see like much of an edge for that long. But I do really want to get into a long here, but I just can't. So it is just distributing this kind of sketchy area right here. It broke slightly, small little retest, consolidate a bit, and then I was trying to push up from it. Are you live streaming every day? Yes. How would you draw your fib tools for retracement now? I wouldn't. I'd just use the EYES indicator. The EYES indicator to see where the retracement is going to be. How much should I risk per trade? Just like 1 or 2%. Vic, are you heavyweight, low reps, or lightweight, high reps? The first set that I do, I can do like my first set is like 15 reps. But once I get to, you know, the first set is like a warm-up. It's kind of like a warm-up set. Then the next 3, I'm aiming for the weight being heavy enough for like 12 reps. So like 12 reps. Heavy enough for 12. And then from 3, maybe I get 2. Maybe the second one I'll do like maybe like 10. Depending on the workout too. And then the last one could be anywhere from 5 to 7. This could be like from 8 to 10. But you know, anything above like 5 reps is good for muscle hypertrophy. But yeah, that's how it looks. My dumbass is searching for EYES indicator. Got some whips today, sir. What do we got? 0.90%. Sharks I'm feeling? Yep. It's drizzling out there. It's getting a bit drizzly. So the sharks might be pulling in. They're not entirely here yet, but the probabilities are increasing that could be one that's gonna come out of nowhere. And you're gonna see price come down. Kind of like take out these lows on the 5-minute. These previous lows here. It's like they're just swimming, you know? They're not attacking right now, but they're swimming. They're swimming. The sharkies are swimming. They're trying to get the buyers. You know, we need like some kind of a water patrol guy to come in and, like, you know, shoot around in the water or something, you know, kind of scare them off. You see Sharky coming in here, told you. You need like a bigger shark to come in and say, leave him alone. And then we're going to keep moving up. But you see, it's like circling. That's what the sharks do. They circle and they see, like, is it safe to attack now? You know, now you see they're coming in a bit here. We just got one shark trying to have like a little nibble. A little nibble on the buyers in the water right now. It's like testing to see what they're gonna do. Where's my harpoon at? You gotta go for the eyes. If you ever get in a shark attack, you gotta go for the eyes. Gotta stab the eyes. I got bad eyesight. I'll be screwed because I can't wear glasses in the water. This shark would tear me up. You're looking for a long or short entry? I'm looking for a long entry. Just waiting for a bit more confidence from the buyers. I don't feel it right now. Maybe if we can have some kind of a structure forming over here. Goggles? Yeah, if I got prescription goggles, it would help. We're gonna need a bigger boat. We're gonna need a bigger boat, guys. We need to see this structure here form a little bit more comfortable, that we can rely on this to hold, to push price up. You see, it's moved from this region here. It's attempted to distribute from here, but you see not a lot of confidence in that setup. So, like, you're also getting a failed follow through here. A new hourly candlestick open up. We just got a shock in the water. Just a small nibble here on the 5-minute time frame. You can see I just took a little bite off this previous 5-minute candle here. Now it's pulling up again. So sellers are also practicing a lot of caution. So I'm not going to get in. I still want to see these highs here being respected a bit more. And then see what I can do here. And I think the good thing is at least it's breaking the all-time highs. This will be the all-time highs again. So anticipate like some kind of exuberance push. You're in a buy. Gold will hit 4K today. No chance. That's like 1,000 pips from where we are. That'll be 1,477 pips from the daily lows. I think there's a very low probability we'll hit 4,000 today. If I would get attacked by a shark, I'm having shark fin soup that night. Yeah, Woods, you know, shark fin soup is quite popular there in China. It's kind of like an aphrodisiac, isn't it? Have you had shark fin soup yet? How does it taste? Doesn't feel right eating a fellow shark. Yeah, I want to see this thing pull down a bit more. Time is at 5:13. This is one of the later trades we've taken on stream. I don't think we've had a trade at 5. When did we take this? This is at 5:07. Oh, that was yesterday's trade. 5:07 and now it's 5:13. Interesting. Maybe I should wait for the all-time highs to get broken here instead. Made this mistake once. But we're moving with such momentum, we should just break and continue moving up. But let me just be on the safer side and sacrifice a few more pips over here. And then get in right there. At least to be sure that that distribution is going to be a strong distribution. Because it's losing steam, guys. It's losing steam. Look at the 5-minute time frame. It's losing a lot of steam. You see these wicks? So if I was going to take a trade, I want to take one with a good break. See if we can see if this is this. Try not to become shark food here. So the more retracements we can get, the better. It flirts. I think he wants to take a nibble out of this buyer over here as well. You know, it just took a small nibble here. You see, it just took out the previous lows, starting to pull up again. So I said, guys, if you were jumping in a water full of sharks, you wouldn't do it more than once a day. You'd only do it once a day, and you'd be happy you survived and you had a profitable day, and you can come back the next day and then do it all over again. The problem is you don't have that sensitivity to risk. You know, because you're going to take this trade and you're going to already look to take the next trade. But if you treat it that same way, if you have that same mental model towards it, then I think you're going to build really good discipline. Because the margin for error becomes like very small. I'm not a fan of seafood at all, so I haven't tried it, to be fair. I have a question. Do you think you'll be as good as a trader or profitable if you only traded using your iPhone, analyze the markets on your phone, no computer screen, nothing? It would not be comfortable. So I think it's like it's not the most efficient thing. You could get away with it 100%. I could, but it's just not the most comfortable. All right, chat. So what y'all... I think this is going to be a good idea over here. Now, you see we've consolidated. I'm trying to avoid as much of the pullbacks as possible. So at least if we get a trade, we're getting at the break of the highs, increasing the variables in our favor. That price can move up. But you can see there's a bit of exhaustion. The bulls are getting exhausted. As Kenton said over here. See this? Getting a bit of a bigger one in the water now. Yeah, it's a big boy. Sorry if you guys don't think my stream is professional. I'm not here to be professional. I'm here to have fun. You know, because trading is boring as it is. All you do is watch candlesticks. So, you know, you might as well create a story around them. Yeah, it's coming down. That'll be nice. Maybe we could get a liquidity grab confluence. Why do you trade gold and US dollar rather than just gold? What do you mean, this gold spot? Appreciate your analysis. Thanks for streaming, man. Thank you, Fred. This is Goldie, my friend. Struggling with consistency on NQ. Been trading for 1 year. That's a Megalodon. See this Megalodon. Oh, there's a sound here. Look at this. We got a sound. That's the sound of a Megalodon. The last buyer in the water. Oh no. This is like Finding Nemo over here. This is basically who I'm trying to avoid to be, because you know all the buyers, like if you look at the way price has moved, price has already moved majority of the way. You know, when price moves majority of the way, you don't want to be this little guy like left, you know, like all the fishies have come, they've gotten like everything, and then you're that little guy, you're just left in the ocean. Then you're like, where's everybody else? Then all of a sudden you get this megalodon thing come out of nowhere, and you're like, you get this happen to you. You know, you get that happen to you. So we're trying to avoid being that guy. So you see, our buddies here are already running off. That's why you could sense in the candles. You see how the candle's becoming weaker? And it's creating like more wicks, and it's like low volume bodies. So that's the fishies already like, you know, swimming away from this area. And trust me, if the market was out to get you, if it really was out to get you, if I was a market maker, I would just push it above these highs. Why not? You know, probably just get a few more orders in there. A few more orders before this big move. But the thing is, like, the market's not always out to get you. And gold is one of the less manipulated instruments to trade. So it's not always trying to go for your stop losses, you know. There's a lot of these whips that are avoidable with just a bit of patience, you know. Like, this is the same, you know how it's breaking off right now. This is just the same idea, because I was looking for a buy, correct? I was looking for a buy, so I was expecting this to happen. Zero drawdown strat, right? So I was expecting this to happen, but it just happened the opposite direction because the market was not planning on going bullish. So instead, it just broke the lows instead of breaking the highs, you know. So it confirmed more the sells and it did not confirm the buys. So I think it's pretty good, you know. If you're looking for a sell, then your entry would have basically been at the break of the opposite direction, right over here. But since we're looking for a buy, we didn't get that. We didn't get that position there. You got some nice confluences as well. You got the exhaustion as well. You know, you've been reading exhaustion and stuff. So that's what I'm saying. It's like, that's the things you don't see when you're necessarily back testing. It's different when you're forward testing because you actually experience the market a bit differently. As you can see how candlesticks are printing like this. That's what actually leads to really good trades sometimes. So that's something, if you're looking for a sell, would have been like your confluence. And it's quite important to note because it's going to happen again. Look at that. Just completely melted off here.
Why are you running? Why are you running?
It's the first of the month. Ooh, what a freaking pullback. So you see how awesome that is? Like when you feel exhaustion and you see that reaction you get, it's like you can feel the market, the market plays. So it's like it's exhausted, it's giving you that one last to two reps, and once it does it, it's like, damn, I'm done. That's the last bench press right there. Then it's like, I'm done. You know, and that's the growth. Now the growth begins. This is where the growth is, because you push so hard to the point you couldn't do anymore, and now you're done and you're relieved. But that's your muscles now relaxing, you know. That's how you get muscle repair, and that's how you build muscle. So it comes down like this, and then, you know, it regenerates. Then you come back stronger and bigger next time. Very impressed you didn't take the golf swing. Very well played. Yeah, too much grass over there, you know. It would have been nice for us to get a deeper retracement. This retracement, like, it wasn't deep enough, but it was definitely a point A. It was trying to hold. Sometimes when you don't get the deeper retracements, it's just a market trying to hold. You know, it's trying to hold that level so it can continue pushing up. But you see what happens is, if it's not enough of a retracement, then you kind of like got to be very cautious about how it's starting to move and break. Because if it's not doing it cleanly, then it's going to be exhausted and it's going to have that deeper retracement. Even though it didn't initially want to have it, it might be forced to have it later. $15 FVG touch.
We don't do that here.
I just closed it and it was like a waterfall. Should we be looking for sells at this point? I'm still looking for buys. Oh, you missed the first part of my question. I was asking if you ever traded NQ thinking of switching to gold. Or no, I never traded NQ. But you should switch to gold. Oh, what's my possible game plan entry for high probability win? That would have been it right here if we could break the highs. But now, because price has retraced a bit more, might get something happen like a little bit sooner. I mean, a little bit down here and then to fill some of this range. I reckon it just wanted a retracement. I'm not like convinced just because we had one dump, now price action is just going to completely change. Not necessarily. It's something that could have just been a retracement to keep moving up bullish. So we're just going to monitor this. You know, we just broke below support, but we have another support area just right here by 38.83. If you can break below 38.83, there's another range here. See, this is about like, you know, 134 pips. Might be the start of a sell-off. You know, who knows? But we gotta see if price breaks below 38.83 over there. How's the Zoom call doing? Everybody here good in Zoom? Remember guys, like, you know, this is a time for you to ask questions. You know, if you're not sure, if you've gone through like the WAP database, you know, you're gonna ask some questions here or on the Discord. On the Discord channel, in the exclusive channels too. But we're also we're gonna run a simulation. We're running a simulation again this weekend. Like, will your full take profit be in case the buy setup works out? Yeah, we'll see. Because, you know, sometimes even price pushes a lot more faster than you'd expect. So you might want to secure here, but you get these trades that just push so fast. Man, like, look at these 1 minute candles. You know, that's already like 19 pips. This one's another 17 pips. And it just broke below like this support area here on the 5. So if it starts accumulating, it could do like a smaller potential reversal play to continue to move up. You trade Bitcoin? No. See, will gold hit 3,900 today? The King of Stonks reveals the power to navigate, but clarity from the SEC indicates a restrained market. Today, the answer is no. Gold shall not strike 3,900. It's a King of Crypto. The SEC card indicates that the fairest outcome for your interests will occur. The SEC will not be swayed by others when deciding what is fair or just. Yeah, but it says we're not going to hit 3,900 today. It might want to retest Asia highs. Let's see. Asia highs by 38.87, 38.75. That's within the range. If it starts to break below support, what I'm expecting is, you see what happened here? Oh. Yeah, so I'm expecting this. You see what happened here? We had a support level. Wait, I think it was right here, right? Yeah, we had a support level. We had two support levels. You had one support level up here, and you had another support level down here. It's a similar situation to what we're doing right now, if you think about it. But except this setup here, it didn't give confirmations for a buy. It gave more confirmations for a sell. But this is essentially a reversal pattern right over here after breaking a key support level like this, right? But it didn't give a confirmation for buy, it gave it for sell, and then price moved down and filled the range on the left-hand side. So we're kind of in a similar situation like that right now. You see we got one support here, and then another support down here. And we have, if you look on the lower time frame, a potential for a reversal signal back up here. So people who are looking for sells, and then kind of fake them back up, and then price continues to move up again. Because that would essentially just be a accumulation, distribution, manipulation. From here, down here, and then to come back up like this. Because at the same time, it has that support that it needs to get through this support. You know, if we can get through this support, then yeah, at that point we can move down. But this is definitely a speed bump, right? This is a speed bump. So if you ever get like a structure like this and it starts to break the highs, and you also got clean range over here, might be coming to retest these entries, these previous entries over here. Because also the market doesn't like leaving people in profits for always too long. So it could come back, retest their entries, and then potentially continue moving down like this. But it's insane. Like since the London Open though, it gave people quite a really nice push here today. Like from the London Open, it moved like, you know, 300 to 330 pips. Not been many shocks today though. Seen worse London sessions. Yep. NFP on Friday, maybe. Maybe if the numbers get released. I'm getting whipped. Hope it changes soon. For every whip you do, you gotta do a push-up. For every losing trade you take. Then at least if you're overtrading, you're getting some value from overtrading. Because otherwise, you don't get any value from overtrading. Yeah, then you're gonna become a monster. Soon cometh the Mystic New York. For New York, you got ADP and ISM Manufacturing PMI. So that's like 15 minutes into NY, then you got some other news. But that's it, you know. And then tomorrow you have unemployment claims. Some GJ's talks over here. Then you got Freaky Friday, NFP. Bailey speaks as well. Here's the whip. This is why I think like it could give a good fake out below here. Below these lows. Because now at least we've got in the retracement, right? It doesn't mean that price wants to move down. Just because it's come down like that. So we can like, we're gonna remove this. And then keep our chart work clean. If looking for buys, where should be the entry? I'll be looking for something maybe at the break of those highs by 38.88. See, I make good returns on daily because my scalping strategy is good and directional market, but some days when gold starts trapping, I lose a lot and give back profits. What advice can you give on it? Yeah, I mean, like, if your strategy is good on directional market, you should just be aiming for directional markets, correct? Like, even if you go with less trades in the week, just aim for directional markets because you even have a higher probability you get your runners run. So you can maximize your gains, limit your potential downside. So that would be like the best advice I can give you. You know, if you're not good with trading the trenches, then, or you said you're getting trapped a lot, you know, that's a trap house. Why do you want to be at the trap house when you know when your good trades are when price is moving? That's what I've been doing for the London session. If the market is moving, then I take a trade. If it's not moving, I don't take a trade. And it's also dependent on the sessions that you trade. Like if you're trading like the pre-London time, you're going to have a lot more earlier entries where you can catch like the daily volume. Usually like from the pre-London time, you give yourself a little bit more options. Trading the London Open, just wait for the market to be directional. Avoid this. Like if you've been watching the stream today, literally that's what we did. You know, it's like price was undirectional and we just waited for price to start to move. Correct? Be okay with the waiting. Wait for your direction if that's what's working for you. That's what I did yesterday as well. You know, price moved up. If you were in yesterday's stream, look at this. Price moved up first. We didn't get an entry. Price completely melted all the way down here and then ended up taking a sell all the way down over here. But you see, I was patient. I waited for that direction. So that's the kind of situation that you're in then. Just be okay with waiting. Gold has moved up to like 0.90%. Now we're down 0.70. It's attempting to break these. It's attempting to fake these traders out here, as we mentioned, like these sellers. It's typically what price does before giving a whip. If you're like in a sell like this, for example, and then it's doing that next to your entry. Typically what it does before it goes against you. I'll wait for a pretty strong pullback here first. I would love to see for it to pull down again and go up would be better entry. Yes. That's exactly what I think too. But it could be distributing from this small... There's a small one right here. It's already broken. So I'm not getting in this. It could just be distributing from this one right here. It's a really small one. It's kind of waiting for this cleaner one here. From here to here. Big stops. Yeah, tricky one. It's only the smaller one here that I was breaking away from. Oh, but that's what I meant. This is kind of like... It's kind of the thing we wanted to see over here. You see, that's what I meant. Like, this is a fake out usually. When price does this and it comes down and behaves like this, this is a fake out. But the setup was there, but it was just like a very... It was like a very early setup, you know. I wanted something a bit more easy, a bit more cleaner. But basically, it's like markets are fractal, correct? So, you know, the same thing, that pullback you see on these red candles is what I wanted to happen up over here. Like a stronger pullback, to have that move. Basically, this small move happened, but like at a bigger scale like this. But I was watching, it was happening like at a smaller scale, but I didn't want to take that one. Got a nice little SMA confluence there too. See, it's going back up, as I said, it's going back up to the previous sellers up over here. Market doesn't typically like to leave them in profits for too long. Yeah, but it's so much momentum here. You just kind of have to be a bit more aggressive, I suppose. Seems like it doesn't want to wait. Yep. It's also pretty nice because we had this whole nice range. Even on the 1 minute. I got the speed bump over there on the 5 minute. So you see, it would have still been difficult for price to keep moving down because of the speed bump right here. See, like, stop. We need to sell off if we're going below 38.83. I just distributed up. You took a buy. If it comes down from 90 and stalls on 85, I'll just trade that. You watch anime? No, not of late. There's a new anime I want to watch that recently came out. It's called... It's called Demon Slayer. Kind of want to watch the new Demon Slayer. It's got a pretty good rating there, 8.6. Looks like Chainsaw Man. Also, we got Chainsaw Man, the movie. Oh, nice. Yeah, I like Chainsaw Man. I recently watched K-pop Demon Hunters. That was surprisingly interesting. Demon Slayer, the movie too. Yeah, that's what I'm seeing. It's like 8.6, but it's not yet out in good quality. And back into the gulag. Coming again to retest these boys over here. Said this was another point where there was an entry right here. It was a much sooner aggressive entry. That was. So you see it came, I think it just came to retest these highs. The previous sellers. Now it's come down to retest the buyers for this move. This move was like, it was like 42 pips. And then the sells were like, you know, like 77 pips. Oh, 7 deadly sins is also good. Would you consider Cyberpunk Edge Runners as an anime? That was a really nice one. I think that was the most kind of recent one that I finished. I put it off for a really long time. But that was the most recent one that I watched till like the end. Cyberpunk Edge Runners. I actually had quite a few I wanted to get through on my anime list, but just haven't had the time. Death Note might be your greatest entry to anime world. I know Death Note. I watched a bit of Death Note. It wasn't the type of anime that I like. It was pretty good though. I can see why people like it. Death Note. Isn't that guy like a salaryman in Japan? The Death Note guy. I have Edge Runners downloaded for ages, but haven't got around to it yet on the last season of Billions now. Yeah, I would normally come here on my anime list and then go on like the seasons and see what were the most popular ones. Oh yeah, I think what I watched, the Harry Potter one was one that I watched as well. I forgot what it's called. There's one anime they made. Where this guy's he doesn't have any magic, so his magic is basically lifting weights. Is basically strong, but no magic. He's like a Batman, like how Batman wants to be with the superheroes, but his only power is being rich. All right, guys. I think I'm gonna end off the stream over here. I will see y'all tomorrow for London Open. I'm gonna head out now. Adios, everybody. Thank you for tuning in. Appreciate you guys tuning in. And as always, remember, join the Best London Session Discord here. You're gonna send in your chat work. It's a pretty good community. And I will see you guys tomorrow. Adios.